Hey, this is Leticia with Vibrationality again. Thanks for joining us. So this class is the second class. It's called the Mommy Hero class. This is going to be talking about babies, kids, and infants, things to have on hand, and first aid, basic first aid skills so that you know how to keep out infections and things like that. So I'm going to go through things that I have on hand constantly so I can take care of the general basis of anything that comes into the house. So my point and purpose of this class is that I want to help mothers be able to have the knowledge and the resources on hand so that they are not in fear. If you're not in fear, then you're not having to rely on the systems of the doctors, or if they're available, or what time it is, or maybe it's in the middle of the night and they have an earache, but you just don't know what to do or how to treat it. So I want to give the mothers the knowledge and the resources that they can have on hand and be able to use them correctly so that they aren't in fear. So one of the first things we go through is what I teach these mothers is that the first thing to look for is runny noses. So if your kids start to get a runny nose, that's your first sign that they're starting to come down with something. And if you can hit it right then really hard and give them their bodies what their systems need and give their armies, their immune system what it needs to get better, it'll be a difference between 2 days of being sick or 2 weeks. So that's the huge difference. If you can catch it at the runny nose and give them what they need, they'll only be sick for a couple of days. And their body is still able to build the immunity up to the infection or the sickness. And it won't develop into something like RSV and pneumonia and things that end up you having to go to the hospital for and stay for days and give you big bills. So start it at the runny nose. And we'll go through this list of what I have on hand that I do give them. But that's one thing you need to be aware of. The next thing is, let me explain a little bit about your immune system. So your immune system consists of your white blood cells, probiotics, and several other things. But what you need to know is if you're having to give your child an antibiotic, anti means no bacteria. So it's wiping out good and bad. So their immune systems in their bodies, all of our bodies have to have a balance of good and bad bacteria. So if you've got that infection, that bad is creeping up, and you need to be able to give them the stuff what they need, the probiotics to help fight that. So there's several protocols of what your fever does for your immune system, but if you do not want to have to do an antibiotic if you don't have to. Because if you do, it wipes their immune system clean. They have no good bacteria to help fight an infection, and if something else comes around later, they're left defenseless. They don't have that immune system to fight. So at least the good gut, which leaves them weaker, and you don't want to do that. So, but if it's something that you do have to go down, sometimes we do have to go down that route, make sure you're giving them a probiotic afterwards for a couple weeks just to build back up their system, build back up that good bacteria. And next thing, a little tip that I go through is fevers. Fevers are a good thing. So your body actually takes a ton of work and energy to build back up that fever, and that is you want them to build up that fever. It's a natural source of your immune system. So your body's building up that fever, and that temperature is helping to kill most of the invaders off. So once they come out of it, they only have this much left to fight. So it's a good thing. Also, the reason why you have that fever is that higher temperature helps their white blood cells be able to run faster through their body and get where they need to be. So it's actually going to help them get faster, better. So you don't want to kill it. The only thing you want to do is watch the temperature. So I watch it, and usually it's 104. If they're starting to get 104 a little bit high, I undress them and get a wet cloth, and I wipe them down with a wet cloth. And then on this protocol that you can download for free on myvibrationality.com under the classes for the Mommy Hero, there's protocols back here. And it'll go for fevers. One of the things is lavender. You can rub lavender on their back and just bring their temperature down. But I will never kill it completely and shut that fever down. It's just going to rebuild right back up. You'll be giving them stuff again. It's not a good cycle. It's actually going to help them get better if you let that fever run. Just watch the temperature. Another thing to keep in mind and be aware of is your kids they have a clean slate, a clean palate. They do not know what tastes good and what doesn't. So if you start them out with sugary Tylenol medicine and then you try and go to natural stuff, they're going to say, oh, this does not taste very good. They're not going to like it. But if you start out with natural medicine and herbs and things like that, they're not going to know a difference. Mine don't even know a difference. They actually think it tastes good. Mom, I love it. Like, give me more. So that's something that you need to be aware of. Like your kids' palates, even if it's something you decide you don't like or that tastes bad to you, give it to your kids. Let them try it because they have a clean palate, and let them learn to develop that, natural medicine, all these things, that they taste fine. Okay, one other thing, this is huge. This makes my life so much easier. I'm the oldest of 8 kids. My mom taught us all to take pills when we were younger, and it makes things so much easier. So naturally, with my kids, I taught them to take pills. I teach my babies to take pills at about 1. And so my little daughter here, Tiana, she's now 4, but I taught her to take pills at 1. And she's going to show you how easy it is to swallow a pill and how kids can do this. Can you swallow a pill for him? So with babies, when they're little, I'll put that pill in their mouth, but I'll squeeze their cheeks so that the pill can't get lost back here. And you help them get that pill back in the back, and then give them their bottle right away, and they will swallow that pill. So it'll help them with that gag reflex. So just squeeze their little cheeks, they're laying down, and help put that pill back in the back and give them their bottle right away. And that gag reflex, they'll get over it so fast. So after a couple times, she's actually getting a runny nose right now, so it's good for her to take that pill because we're going to start right now taking stuff. Thank you, Tiana. Say bye. So now I don't have to open up that pill, put it in applesauce, stir it up, make sure she eats all the applesauce. It makes so much of a longer process to get your kids better versus just giving them all pills, pop, 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 they're done. So teaching them to take pills at a young age, it gets them over that gag reflex a lot faster, so that by the time she's 4, by the time they're 4, they don't have that reflex. It's so much easier for them to take pills. But if you try and start your kids out at 5 and 6 or however old to take pills, it's going to take them a lot longer. It just takes them a lot longer to get over that gag reflex. Let's touch on infections really quick. So infections. So most of the time you should never get an infection. And if you're getting an infection, that's because something wasn't taken care of. That's when things can get into your bloodstream and you have to go into the hospital for a while and you have to get on antibiotics and all the steroids, whatever else. So you don't want to have to do that. So here's your basic protocol. If they're going to get a cut or if they've been scraped or anything, first thing you're going to do is clean it. Okay, treat it. Hydrogen peroxide usually is what people use. That one actually, it kills even the healthy tissue around that area of that wound. So what I use and what I keep on hand, which is on one of my lists, is this Arise. It's an ionic silver, 200 part per million, and it's mixed with a fulvic acid mineral base and has essential oils in it as well. So it'll clean the wound. You've treated it now, so you've cleaned it, and now you can treat it and put on what you need to keep it clean. So you're going to then keep it clean. Here is an owie spray that you can easily make. This is on the DIY page of vibrationality.com. Really easy, just coconut oil, and you're putting the essential oils in there that keep out infection. It's frankincense, melaleuca, and lavender, so you can keep spraying this on to keep it clean and keep the wound out. With certain ones, like on feet and stuff, you want to keep things covered, okay, so that it doesn't get in dirt and anything like that. But what people mostly don't really realize is that you can't keep that same bandage on there for several days because then there's no breathing. It needs air to breathe, and that creates an environment like a petri dish for bacteria to actually grow. So you need to take off the Band-Aid maybe while they're sleeping at night, let it air out and breathe, and then put a Band-Aid on in the morning so they can have it clean and protected all day. But then keep doing that until it's healed. That will keep out infection and get rid of most of your problems so you don't come down with any other ridiculous issue. As a story, my other daughter, she was playing at the park and she had bare feet on. My husband was with him at the park and they were gone for maybe an hour. And so they come home only after an hour. She's stepped on something on her foot and it's already inflamed and red and it hurts to the touch. So that's something that's kind of signs that you know there's an infection. Is it's hot and it hurts and it's swollen and it hurts to touch it. So I've never seen an infection set in that fast. I was dumbfounded. I'm like, crap, like I had no time to even get on top of that. Okay, so what we started to do was I cleaned it, cleaned it with the spray, and then I pushed that pus out. It hurts, and she cried. You know, she cried, but we would push that pus out morning and night to make sure and keep it cleaned every morning and night. And then I would put frankincense essential oil on it. And putting that frankincense on that wound, it healed it and it kept that infection. And slowly, it only took 2 days of us doing that, and the infection was gone. So I'd have to push that pus out. You'd want to leave it in there. But if I would have left it in there, she could have got a major blood infection, had to go to the hospital. It could have been a huge ordeal. But since I stayed on top of it, I knew what I was doing. I knew what to use. I got rid of the infection, healed the wound, and we didn't have to deal with any of that, thank goodness. So the rest of this protocol talks about the list that I always keep on hand. So one of the other things I keep on hand, especially for babies, is this chewable vitamin C. So it's a tablet. It's 1,000 milligrams. One is 500. But you need about 1,000 milligrams a day. The reason why I keep this one on hand is A, it's not synthetic, so it's not derived from corn syrup. It's not an ascorbic or ascorbic acid. It's derived from natural sources like cherries and stuff. But I can easily crush it with just 2 spoons or in a bowl or whatever and make it into a powder. Make it into a powder, and then you can easily get some and put it in baby's mouth and let them eat it. So without having to swallow a pill, these are when they're infants. You can give this to them when they're 1 month, 2 month old. The vitamin C helps with the immune system and keeping that immune system strong. So it gives them that extra boost. If you feel like they're coming down with something and you just want to be preventative, vitamin C, I go to vitamin C. It's a great thing. Lemon essential oil can also do that, and you can just have them drink a little bit of that. So, but I would stick with the vitamin C. It's really, really easy. They can chew. The bigger kids can just chew it and swallow it. Also great for you. Vitamin C is amazing for collagen production. So that's a great thing that I always have on hand. Another thing is elderberry syrup. You can get this on the My Vibrationality under the products tab. This one, elderberry, is great for infants and babies and kids. It's made with elderberries, but it's a revitalizing immune support. So it helps them if you feel like they're coming down with something, you're just going to give them a teaspoon. Only thing is, for older kids, the formula is made with honey. So you don't want to give honey to infants under 1. So the infant formula is made with molasses. So specify which one you're wanting, either the infant one or the children's one with that. You already saw the Arise. So this is like a natural antibiotic. So I'll clean the wounds with this. If they're getting earaches, I use this one for earaches. If they're getting an eye infection like the goopy pink eye, you can spray this up the nose. If they're getting a nasal infection, you can spray this directly in their mouth and have them just swallow it so it doesn't taste or anything. So it's great for infants and babies and kids. Taken internally, if they have a stomach virus, you want to get something down there to kind of kill that virus that's in that stomach. Spraying it on the wound. So outside, inside, anywhere. It's like a natural antibiotic. So this is, I use this for everything. I do keep the kids Omega. This one's a liquid, so it's not a pill form. The kids don't have to swallow it. It's flavored with orange, so my kids think it's candy. Tastes really good. And then the A to Z is their vitamins or chewables, but these are not synthetic. They are derived from natural sources. So a natural source your body can recognize and be able to utilize it easier. The reason why omegas are very, very important. If your kids are getting eczema or any type of dry skin stuff, they don't have enough good fats in their system. So an easy way to fix eczema, it's an internal problem, not external. So you can put the lotions and coconut oil on to help externally, but it'll get rid of the problem completely if you can give them an omega. So this is just a teaspoon, and you can give this to the babies or kids, and it'll help their skin with the eczema and stuff. So when we already went through probiotics, these are important, right, for the immune system. These are a pill, so we're trying to teach them to take a pill. The Owie spray. Let's see. Oh, another one that's huge for little babies. These are On Guard beadlets. So this is an essential oil that will help kill any infection. They are teeny tiny. So I like to have these on hands for infants, babies. So they're so small. You can easily put those in their little mouths and give them their bottle and they'll swallow it. So this will help if you feel like they're coming down with something, getting sick, you can give them a couple drops a day. Real quick, with holistic medicine, one thing you kind of need to switch your paradigm on is it's not about all at once. So usually with medications, we're used to taking our medications in the morning for the day and being done. With holistic medicine, it's about consistency and small amounts being consistent throughout the day. So you can't just give them one beadlet in the morning and think, okay, they're not going to be sick tomorrow. You need to give their bodies consistently what they need. And if they're not getting better by the next day, then you're not giving them enough. So up your dosage the next day in everything and give them more and see if they're better and see if they're coming out of it the next day. So consistency is the key in small amounts. So this is something that's amazing for the infants and babies. The other thing is vitamin D. If you don't know about vitamin D is great for your immune system. The thing is you have to have enough vitamin D in your system to keep you from getting sick. So once you've gotten sick, if the kids are already sick, I'm not giving them this. This is what I'm giving them basically when they start school. Every day they're just getting a drop in the morning. So this is a liquid. You just take one tiny drop. You can easily give it to an infant or baby because it's liquid and it doesn't taste. They don't have to swallow anything. So this you're giving them as a preventative medicine. They have to have enough vitamin D in their system to not get sick. So this is Biotic. So you can get this on the protocol. It's on Amazon. That's it. That's kind of what I keep on hand. If you're wanting any extra stuff, I love this company. This is a formula number 3. So usually with babies, you kind of get constipation issues and things like that. You don't want to have to put the stool softeners up there or give them all the other stuff that might not be good for them. So this has no side effects. It's no chemicals. It's not going to hurt their liver or anything like that. This, you give them just a teaspoon, and it'll help them get soft and be able to poop. So this gets their bowels moving. I would keep this one on hand when my kids were babies. You can also give it to toddlers too. But so if they're needing help with this, you can also give infants molasses in warm water, and that will help get them moving too. Extra things just for earaches, because earaches are a big issue sometimes with a lot of people. I would keep these on hand on top of the rice. So this is an oil of garlic, and this is lobelia. Lobelia helps with pain, and the garlic will kill the infection. So you put just a couple drops of each back in their ear, put a cotton ball on top and tape it, let them go to sleep. And do that every night until the infection's gone. But I use this one lady, his ear was just oozing and it stunk and there was just a bunch of stuff coming out. We put this in and the next day the oozing had stopped. So those are some other things to have on hand. The last thing that's amazing that we'll cover, and this will cover the rest of the papers about protocols. It goes through diaper rashes, constipation, common cold, dry skin, earaches, swimmer's ear, fevers, flus, jaundice, rashes, and it tells you what to use and how. So this is a great thing to download and just put it in a folder and keep it. But this kit is called a touch kit. So this has the main oils that you'll use for anything that you're going to come down with. But what's awesome about this is they're pre-diluted. So oregano can be a hot oil, and you're not going to want to put that directly on this kid's skin. So these are pre-diluted, and you can rub them right on. So when it's listing oils in there as protocols, if you had this kit, you can easily rub this on their feet. For example, here's the frankincense that I used on my daughter's foot, right, for infections. So you can rub this right over, keep out an infection, helps anything heal. Peppermint's going to be for digestion. Tummy aches. There's the Breathe. It's the main one you have to have on hand, right? When they're starting to get lung congestion and stuff, you can roll this right on their lungs. Another one I keep on hand for lungs is eucalyptus. And you can diffuse those by their bed and have kind of in their humidifier at night. Digestion. This is going to help with constipation. You can rub this on the outside while giving them that formula internally. Lavender is going to be for your fevers and your rashes and things like that, earaches. On Guard, this is a great one because if you feel like they're getting sick and you just got that infant little baby or even kids, you can give them the On Guard beadlet internally, but rub this on their feet, okay? Your feet have the biggest pores, so if you put things on your feet, your body can easily take it in your system. Also, on the back of the spine is an easy place to put it because that will absorb and go through the rest of their body. So spine and feet are usually where you're going to put things. Melaleuca, rashes, earaches, things like that. Deep blue, they have a deep blue in here. This one's for sore muscles and pain, like leg cramps. I use this for leg cramps. I also have a mineral solution. If your kids have leg cramps, you just need to give their body what they need to be able to grow, and what it's meant to be doing. So if you give them a mineral, your body needs calcium, but it needs the magnesium in order to absorb the calcium. So the mineral solution I keep on hand is a liquid, and you can easily just give it to infants or kids and just let them swallow it. So when my little boy had leg cramps and he was younger, he'd wake up in the middle of the night and I could give him that, and in 5 minutes his pain would be gone. You could rub that deep blue on, the pain's gone, he can go back to sleep. But if you can give it to him every couple days, their leg cramps will never come back, and eventually they'll grow out of it and they won't need it anymore because you've given their body what it needs. So I hope that helps. This protocol's there and downloadable free on the website, and those are the products that I keep on hand. That's basically will cover most anything that has to do with any kid issues as infants, and that's infants as well as kids. So I hope any of this helped. Join us for the rest of our classes, and hope you have a blessed day. See you later. Bye.